What is up, guys? My name is Clash, and I am finally able to do another commentary for you guys here on the Commentator channel. Now, I haven't been able to do one in a while because I have been super busy with not only my own channel, but life in general, you know, getting ready for college and all that crap, and trying to keep videos going out on my own channel on a regular basis. It's just tough, especially dealing with my crappy-ass computer and its 5-hour rendering times for a 10-minute video. But I digress. It's been tough, and I'm sorry for neglecting you guys, but here I am. I have this huge video that hopefully goes over well with you guys, and hopefully you guys can take some of the advice I'm about to give, and also take what I'm going to say about the main topic that you're seeing as the title of this video, violence in video games, with a grain of salt because I'm not too up to date on the topic. But before I go into that, I just want to go ahead and say that you guys are doing pretty well here. I just think that there should be more of the whole constructive criticism thing, you know, helping each other out, supporting one another, and the biggest thing is networking with, excuse me, that was a random burp, networking with each other. You guys should really be doing your best to talk to one another and try and do dual comms with one another. I think that's the biggest thing. Find somebody that you would like to do a dual commentary with and interact with them, do some commentaries with them, or just flat out network with them. You know, put them, start your own little community here on YouTube and get something going here. It would be on a very small scale, the same thing as guys like Woody's Gamertag, Weems of Redemption, and FPS Kyle did a while back with Painkiller already, and they have their own little network going, and now they're all good friends, and I think it's really cool that that developed here on YouTube. And I know for myself, I've been really fortunate because I've met some really nice people here on YouTube that have helped me and my channel grow. But aside from that, I think it's really rewarding to get people to really enjoy the content that you put out to videos. I know I have a select group of people, you know, maybe 50 to 100 people on my channel out of my 1,000 subscribers or so that really enjoy my stuff and leave comments on nearly every single video, partly because I remind them with the annotations, but also because they really like my stuff, and I think that's really rewarding, and I think others should also be able to experience that as well, experience the satisfaction that you get from somebody enjoying the videos that you put out onto YouTube. And that, I think, is the way for you guys to do this. Network with each other, leave constructive criticism, because this is the one of the only channels on YouTube that I'm aware of where the really, really small commentators that aren't good enough to get onto a bigger community channel such as Machinima or Heartbreaker Nation TV, or any of the sort where you have to be a pretty strong commentator to get onto a community channel like that. This is one of the only channels where you can get your content put out there, even though you only have 20, 30 subs, and maybe you aren't the best commentator. Maybe there are a lot of awkward pauses in your videos, or maybe you just run out of things to say. Maybe you can't make your commentary interesting. This is the place to improve, and this is the place to help each other out and become better commentators and just really develop an actual community. So with that being said, I think we can move on to the main topic, but let me just make this clear. Really network with each other. Don't just say box for box, okay? Don't say, oh, I'll put you in my sub box, you put me in your sub box. Yeah, that's not what I consider true networking. True networking is really doing videos with another person, really interacting with that person and getting your subscribers to know that person and getting that person's subscribers to know you. I know I'm trying to do the same thing. I want to get it dual comm done with Ford, and I want to start talking to other Call of Duty commentators and maybe some other small LPers like myself, trying to meet some really cool people, because I think that's the other great thing about YouTube commentating. There are just lots of cool people on here and lots of great people to network with and do videos with. So I think that it's going to be really rewarding when I start doing a lot more of that, and I think it'd be really rewarding for you guys, the smaller guys that are really having trouble shining through all the clutter on YouTube. So with all that being said, I think we can finally move on to the main topic, which is violence in video games. Now, there has been a little bit of chatter about this recently, because in the past few months, apparently there's been a group of people or a group of politicians in some state somewhere here in the United States. I don't know exactly where. I'm not up to date on the situation. They're trying to make it so that it's illegal to sell games that are rated M for mature to minors. And the reason behind this is because oh yeah, violence in video games is poisoning the youth of America, blah, 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 blah. There's the extremists. There's a little bit of rationality to it, a little bit of study behind it that shows that maybe playing violent video games can increase your violent tendencies, but to be honest, I don't agree with it in the least. If somebody's going to commit a violent crime just by playing video games, they already have some mental instabilities to begin with. I mean, there are like 500,000 people daily that play Call of Duty Black Ops still, like almost half a year. It's actually been way more than half a year. It's almost been a year since it's been released. And you don't see all 500,000 people who play Call of Duty Black Ops on a daily basis go out stabbing people and shanking people and shooting people. I just don't agree with it. I think it's a little bit extreme to say that violence in video games is such a huge factor in the moral decay of society. I think it's a load of shit, to be honest. It's a load of horse crap, and I don't agree with it at all, to be honest. You have to have some kind of mental instability within your mind to begin with to go out and start stabbing people because you shot someone on Call of Duty. I think it's just an extreme link, and what I think it is that a lot of people are, mostly parents probably, parents that aren't that great at being parents, blaming what their kid is doing wrong on video games. I think it's a load of crap. I don't think video game developers should have to take the flock because parents don't want to accept the responsibility for their own actions as shitty parents. And I am generalizing here. I don't want anybody to feel offended. I'm not trying to call anybody out because really I don't know anybody where this has happened to. I am just going off of what I am assuming here. This is all hypothesization or whatever the hell you want to call it. This is all me just taking a stab in the dark and throwing some random opinions out there that probably don't matter. It just seems to me like if your kid is doing bad at school and maybe he's getting in fights at school or he's got bad grades or something, I honestly don't think that has anything to do with video games. If you're a parent, you should be able to control what your kid does. You know, if little Jimmy is going over to Bobby's house to play Xbox and play Call of Duty and shoot people even though he's, 10 years old, you have the power to make it so that he doesn't go over to Bobby's house. I think it's ridiculous that anybody can blame a video game on real-life problems, because video games are a source of entertainment, interactive entertainment, where you let loose and you just kind of relax. At least for me anyways, I've always found video games as something to relax on. I never really get frustrated when I'm playing Call of Duty. Every now and then you'll get a match where it's just ridiculous because matchmaking decided to make your party of 3 guys play 6 people, and it just gets ridiculous like that, but it's nothing to get upset about. It's really just a time to unwind and get over the everyday stressors in society. One of the biggest things for me is bad drivers, so I play video games to unwind so I can just kind of get my mind off of crappy drivers in California. I swear to God, there's so many bad drivers out there. It drives me insane. That's why I try to drive as little as possible today. That's not even considering the gas prices, but I'm rambling and rambling here, and the point is that video games, I honestly do not think have that much to do with violent tendencies in kids. If kids are getting into fight at schools, and you just don't see it happen. You don't see a kid go, yeah, I was playing Call of Duty and I knifed somebody and it was awesome, so I decided to knife somebody in real life. I decided to knife Teddy over there in gym class after school because I knifed somebody in Call of Duty. That doesn't happen because it's really not true. I don't really think it's something that actually happens on a regular basis, if at all. Of course, there's going to be isolated incidents where you'll be able to kind of blame some of it on video games. I'm sure there are times where a video game may have contributed to a violent crime, but for the most part, you do not see all 500,000 people that play Call of Duty Black Ops or who played Modern Warfare 2 back in the day go out and shoot people or stab people on a regular basis. There are times where it happens, but to be honest, I don't think it's something that really needs to be made a fuss about. I can't even figure out what I'm trying to say, but you get what I'm trying to get across to you guys, and hopefully this kind of sheds some light on the subject if you were ignorant of what's going on. And if somebody knows more, let me know in the comments section. And also leave feedback on the comments, because I'm sure there's some of you who feel more strongly about this subject than me, because it doesn't apply to me. I'm already an adult. It doesn't matter to me. I can already buy video games that are rated M no matter what. But for some of you, I'm sure this might be an issue because maybe you were looking forward to turning 17 and being able to buy a video game that was rated M for mature, but now you can't. You might have to wait another year unless the law has already been passed or declined. I'm not sure yet. I am out of the loop on the situation, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt, but this is just random ramblings and opinions from me. So, that's really all there is to say about it. I don't think there should be a huge fuss about it. I don't think people should be blaming video games for their kids doing badly or getting into fights at school. I think it's a load of crap, and I don't think that video games are contributing to the moral decay of society as we know it. I know there are probably isolated incidents where maybe a kid has been traumatized by a video game. I believe that, of course I do. I can understand where the surreal experience for a video game by a kid who's never played it before, playing Call of Duty as your first video game and just getting into that where you're shooting people. Like, I've heard stories where people's kids have been messed up by playing Call of Duty as their first video game, and I think that's possible, but at the same time, I think to go ahead and try and blame video games for the super violent nature of people these days, and it's all blown out of proportion to try and scare people and to just try and create gossip, to be honest. I think it's a load of crap, and that's all there really is to say about it. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. We're pretty much done here, and for this particular game, I ended up going 34-19 with 3 captures and 10 defends. So I hopefully it was, a good gameplay to kind of entertain you guys as a nice backdrop to the commentary. So thanks for watching, everybody. Again, keep networking, guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and we can keep growing this community channel. So thanks for listening in, guys. Peace out, everybody.